outside of the school system than they're being inside of the school system, because they're being ostracized because you don't have a connection with them that stems from cultural relatedness. If these kids can't see themselves in what you're teaching them, which is why you only take 1 week out of Black History Month to speak on Black History Month, then why are they engaged? Me, myself, I remember being brought up and learning about the Mesopotamia, and that was it. But where did Mesopotamia start? I remember asking the question to my teacher in middle school. We learned for 2 months about the Dark Ages, and I asked them what was going on in Africa doing simultaneously at the same time. My teacher literally stopped class, looked at me and said, "You have no right to be asking a question like that." I did not get the answer until I got to college. And once I got the answer in college, I got upset with my teacher to teaching me about Aristotle for 2 semesters. Who did Aristotle learn from?
Exactly.
And once I got there, and what happened even in the college situation at HBCU, he gave me an F for asking that question. Lord granted that I took my own documentation and I showed that I had the work ethic and I actually deserved to be in that class, that he had to change my grades. But I insulted him because he felt as though he was not in his own self-interest to teach me who I was. And that stemmed from elementary school to college. And if we understand even more about politicians are being brought out, the education system has already been brought out. We don't own the things. And I come from Morgan State. In Morgan State, if anyone pays attention, on a Sunday, who's being taught in the engineering buildings?
White.
No, they're Chinese students being taught by Chinese teachers at an HBCU on a Sunday. Yet, a teacher had just got terminated from teaching African diaspora from an African perspective at an HBCU. So that shows our core values, us being educated, is also being overlooked, misled, and what we have to do is leave from not being educated into the school system, but also become autodidactic. And that means to be self-educated. All of our great leaders that we all look up to, pay respect to, have been self-educated.
So let me ask you this real quick, brother. I want to ask you this. So how do we fight against, how do we fight against a system that's designed and that miseducates us? How do we fight against it?
What you first do, from onset, before they're even in school, is to teach and read to your child in the womb. If we understand the importance of vibration and energy, your child can be born into a genius before he even came out of the canal. Now, once they get there, before they actually, because you have to, until we understand sovereignty as a people, you're going to have to more likely put them into a public school system. So before you send them to school, give them that book that's authored by a Black author. Give them a book that's illustrated by a Black person. So when they go there, they can start to see the contrast between the two, and they can define who they are between what's being added rather than being actually molded into what they want to become. So by the time they get to middle school, I have an objection. I'm fed up with this. Well, I'm only knowing about Martin Luther King, but I don't know who Frank Hampton is and Bobby Seale is. And these men were 21 years old, started their own political campaigns. You see what I'm saying?
I'm
So
feeling that.
let's fill our own gap.
I'm feeling that.
So I'm Diana again. So I do agree with what everyone has said. I feel like the schools are not teaching us what we need to learn, like taxes, our history, our culture, and yeah. But I feel like if nobody else is gonna teach us what we have to learn, who else is gonna do it? We have to do it ourselves. We have to